One bomb failed. One assassin gave up. One driver took the wrong turn. And because of those mistakes, 20 million people would die. On June 28, 1914, an assassination attempt failed in broad daylight. The target escaped, the attackers scattered. History should have ended there. But instead, through a series of absurd coincidences, so unlikely they sound. Fictional, the most powerful empires on Earth were dragged into the deadliest war humanity had ever seen. This is not just the story of an assassination. This is the story of how the world accidentally destroyed itself. Europe in 1914 wasn't peaceful. It was armed, paranoid, and waiting for an excuse. Every major power was stockpiling weapons. Generals had more influence than diplomats. War plans were written, timed, and rehearsed, just waiting to be activated. Four forces pushed Europe toward the edge. First, militarism. Armies grew larger every year. War was no longer a distant fear. It was an expected event. Governments poured money into new battleships, bigger artillery, and millions of rifles. Second, alliances. Two massive, hostile blocs had formed, like giant gangs. On one side, you had Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. On the other, you had France, Russia, and Great Britain. An attack on one was an attack on all. One spark could pull everyone into the fire. Third, imperialism. Empires were in a frantic global competition for land, resources, and influence, breeding constant hostility, and finally, nationalism. This was the belief that your people, your culture, your nation was superior. Nowhere was this more explosive than in the Balkans, a region seething with ethnic tensions. Bosnia, in particular, was controlled by the Austro-Hungarian Empire but filled with Slavic people who dreamed of freedom and craved revenge. Europe wasn't a stable continent. It was a bomb, just waiting for a match. The man who wasn't supposed to die was Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, but he was not a villain. In fact, ironically, he may have been the one man capable of saving the empire. He believed the different ethnic groups inside the empire should be given more autonomy, more rights. He opposed crushing Slavic nationalism with violence. He wanted reform, not repression, and that's what made him so dangerous. Because for Serbian extremists, peace was the enemy. A reformed, stable Austria-Hungary would destroy their dream of a greater Serbia, a unified Slavic state. So a secret society operating inside the Serbian military known as the Black Hand made a decision: Franz Ferdinand must die. They recruited a group of young, radicalized men. They were poor, sick, and desperate for meaning. One of them was Gavrilo, princip, 19 years old, weak from tuberculosis, but burning with ideological fire. And then fate added its cruelest joke. The Archduke chose to visit the city of Sarajevo on June 28th. This date was Serbia's most sacred national holiday, a day of remembrance for a historic defeat. To the extremists, it felt like a deliberate insult. To history, it was a countdown. The morning of June 28, 1914. The Archduke and his wife, Sophie, rode through the streets of Sarajevo in an open-top car. There was no bulletproof glass. Security was minimal. To make matters worse, the exact route had been publicly announced in the newspapers. 6 assassins, armed with bombs and pistols, waited along the street, and one by one, they failed. The first one lost his nerve and did nothing. The second one hesitated. Then, as the car passed, the third assassin, a bomb was thrown. But eat me said. The bomb bounced off the back of the Archduke's car and exploded under the vehicle behind them, injuring several bystanders and officers. The Archduke was completely unharmed. He sped away, the assassins scattered, and the mission was a total failure. History should have ended right here, but it didn't. Shaken and furious, Franz Ferdinand still chose compassion. After a brief, angry stop at the town hall, he insisted on going to the hospital to visit the people who were wounded by the bomb. The plan changed. The route had to change, but nobody told the driver. As the convoy pulled away from the town hall, The driver of the Archduke's car took the originally planned turn, heading down the wrong street. An official in the car shouted, "Stop, this is the wrong way." The driver slammed on the brakes, the engine stalled, and the car stopped. Right in front of a cafe, and standing right there, having just bought some food, was one of the defeated assassins, Gavrilo Princip. Couldn't believe his eyes. The target he thought was gone forever was now sitting in a stationary car, just a few feet away from him. He didn't hesitate this time. He raised his pistol and fired 2 shots. One bullet struck Sophie, the woman Franz Ferdinand loved more than power. The second bullet pierced the Archduke's neck. His final words were whispered to his wife. "Don't die. Live for our children." But within minutes, both of them were dead. Not in battle, not in a war, but because of a wrong turn. The assassination shocked Europe, but it didn't automatically force a war. Choices did. Austria-Hungary, hungry for an excuse to crush its neighbor, blamed the entire nation of Serbia. Germany, its powerful ally, gave them unconditional support, a blank check to do whatever they wanted. Austria-Hungary sent an ultimatum to Serbia, a list of demands so harsh they were designed to be rejected. Against all odds, Serbia accepted almost everything. It didn't matter. Austria-Hungary declared war anyway. Then, the dominoes fell. Russia, seeing itself as the protector of the Serbs, mobilized its massive army. Germany saw Russia's mobilization as a threat and declared war on them. Knowing France was Russia's ally, Germany declared war on France too. To attack France, Germany invaded neutral Belgium, and that act brought Great Britain into the war.